Hello and welcome to Toy Polloi 2, and today we have an unboxing video because earlier in the week I was contacted by Steve from the Toy Exchange saying that he had a box of Star Wars beta figures and would I like them because he couldn't make use of them. Well, of course I said yes, because beta figures of any kind are what I like to receive because that will help me make future projects. And with Star Wars figures I always like working on them. There's so many things that you can do and repair on Star Wars figures, and there's probably so many repairs that I haven't shown yet. So Steve has very kindly sent over this box. Let's get on and open it and see what's inside. So this is a fairly weighty box. It feels like it is pretty full of figures. I've no idea what is inside apart from the fact it's a broken vintage Star Wars figure. So let's get on and open it and see what it is. Right, well, there is a note, so let me have a quick read of that. It says, Toy Polloi, hope these beta figs find a new lease of life in your collection. These figures are beyond our mere mortal hands to do anything with, so I will let you work your magic. I also found a Tanty 4 micro model from the 1979 Palitoy die-cast Star Destroyer. Sadly, it's been nibbled by a previous owner, but would still complete the Star Destroyer as it's always missing. So if you're missing one, hope this helps. Keep up the great work. All the best, Steve, the Toy Exchange. We'll see. That is fantastic. Let me take a look and see what we have in here. I can see lots of it. So there's a bag there with some cloaks in it. Then we have another big bag here with all sorts of pieces in. So let's deal with the cloaks first and see what's in here. I can see a couple of ones I recognise. We have a forlorn cloak. This is looking fairly tatty, got a few marks on it, bit of a rip at the back there. Maybe some of those marks can be cleaned off. We have the outer cape for an Emperor's Royal Guard. That is always very useful indeed. We have got an Obi-Wan Kenobi cape, which has a few tears around the armholes there, but actually a bit of a clean, and I think that will turn up quite nice. We have Luke Skywalker's Jedi robes, and I reckon someone has already repaired that. I can see a little bit of sewing going on there, so someone's had a go at repairing that, just not particularly neatly. Definitely that can be tidied up. And then we have, what are these? Well, these are all squid head capes, and again these always tend to break in the same way. There's always a tear at the front here, and I think we can repair those. Just a nice little bit of sewing and we can repair those. And we have poor little Yoda's robes there as well, just a bit dirty. So those are fantastic. Then I can see in here we have a few other pieces. So that is the tiny little shuttle from the Star Destroyer die-cast chip. So that is a very small piece and it is often missing. I can see it's got a few little chew marks on there, but a very useful piece. I'm going to put that back in the little baggie there because I don't want to lose it. We then have some, I'm going to say these are micro machines versions of Star Wars ships. I recognise a lot of them. So yeah, there's a Star Destroyer, we've got the Millennium Falcon, we have got a B-Wing, we've got an X-Wing, we've got a little skiff there, some with stands, and then we have a vintage pencil topper, and this is a Bib Fortuna. I definitely don't have that one, so I'm going to clean that one up, put that in my little pencil topper collection. Then we have another bag here. This does not look like Star Wars figures. This is predominantly Fisher-Price Adventure People. I can also see a Terrahawks figure in there and a Mac Mobile Action Command figure. So let's start with the Fisher-Price Adventure People. We've got a few of the Space People. That's one of the sort of space pilots. That's another one there. That is another one there missing the little dome, so you can see his face quite clearly underneath. Those are really nice. They're always very well played with Fisher-Price figures. I think that's what I like about them. They've always been really well loved. I think kids absolutely love these figures, as certainly I did growing up. So they always have a lot of playware on them. But I reckon those will clean up pretty nicely. We have one of the, I think this is the fighter pilot, or is it a racing car driver? Never quite sure on that one. He does look a little bit like a pilot, but he could be a racing driver. And then we have another one here as well, which is the same figure, a little bit sort of more worse for wear. But those, again, are really nice figures. Then we have, well, this is Hawkeye from Terrahawk. So this is a Bandai figure from 1983, I believe. He is not looking too bad. A little bit of a paint rub on his nose, and the silver paint is worn away, but it's a very common issue with these. He's missing his belt as well, but nice little figure there. That, I think, is a fairly modern Action Man figure that came with, I think it was like Burger King or McDonald's. If someone knows exactly where that came from, do leave a comment below, but I think it was a sort of a burger meal giveaway. And then finally, we have this, which may look like an Action Jack, but this is the sort of origin of Action Jack figures. This is a Mobile Action Command figure. These were made by, I think it was Lesney. So this is the sort of slightly better produced version. It's made out of nicer plastic than the Action Jacks. Generally, they're a little bit sort of more sturdy, although this one I can see has some damage to his knee, but still a very nice figure. Let me have a rearrange and then we'll tip out the Star Wars bag. Okay, so this is a big bag of beta Star Wars figures. There's a whole load in there. Lots of really good looking figures, I would say, that all need a bit of work. Let's tip this out and see what they look like, and we'll see what we've got. Wow, that is a mighty pile of figures. Yeah, and they certainly are sort of well played with figures. I don't see many sort of broken limbs and pieces. Oh, maybe I do. I spoke too soon. There's a leg there for C-3PO, but they are certainly well played with. And there's a good mixture as well. We've got quite a few stormtroopers. So there's, what's that, 3 stormtroopers. We've got a biker scout there, another biker scout there, another one there. Then we've got another one there. Oh, he's particularly dirty looking. What else have we got? I can see there's a AT-AT driver there. Oh, there's another stormtrooper there. Another biker scout there. So quite a selection of Imperials, all very useful. Oh, actually, I can see one more because we have a TIE fighter pilot there. Bit on the floppy side and a little bit sort of worn around the edges. Those are all really nice. These are the sort of figures I actually sort of collect, and they go in my yellow squadron, which I'm still building. So these, with a good bit of cleaning, I reckon we can make these look pretty nice. That guy especially, he, I reckon, with a bit of sort of soap and water and a magic eraser, that will come up really good. So yeah, that's a fun load of figures there. Then what else have we got? Well, I can see there's a Darth Vader. There's another Darth Vader. All a little bit chewed, those guys. Certainly this guy's head is particularly chewed. We have another Darth Vader there. So that's it for Darth Vaders. I can see we also have, so we've got a Death Star droid here. Bit loose and floppy, and something has happened to his arm. I've never seen one with an arm quite as distorted as that. Wonder what has gone on with that. It's really bent out of shape. We have another Death Star droid there. Then we have, well, there's some C-3POs, or bits of C-3POs. I can see a few legs. Oh, there's another Death Star droid there. Again, a very well played with one. But what has happened to poor C-3PO? We've got one here missing his legs. I think this is a detachable limbs version. So I found one leg. Oh, there's another leg there. He looks like he might have been spray painted silver because he's got a very sort of dull finish to him. Let's scratch that off a bit just to see what's underneath. That doesn't look like the original finish. I wonder what has gone on with him. We have another C-3PO here with a leg snapped off. But, oh, there's the leg. So maybe we can do something with him. That's an interesting problem. I've never seen one of those broken. And I imagine it's fairly awkward to fix because you can't boil and pop these. That will be an interesting challenge. Then let's do a few Hoth figures. So we've got some Hoth Rebels. There's a couple of Hoth Rebel soldiers. Again, just well played with. They've been really well loved. Can't see much damage on them. Loose and floppy, but they're not too bad. We've got the Hoth Rebel Commander, one of my favourites. Then we can move on to, well, who should we move on to next? Let's look for some of the early figures, so some of the first Star Wars figures. So I can see here we have got an original Luke Skywalker. We've got an original Han Solo, which again has seen sort of better days. A lot of paint wear on his face, and it may be someone has tidied that up maybe with Tipex, I would say. There's also another Han Solo there, so we've got a big head and a small head. I can see we have got an Obi-Wan Kenobi with the standard greying of the limbs, the sort of darkening of the limbs. We have got a couple of Chewbaccas. Both are not in too bad condition. They've certainly yellowed a bit. That guy's got something going on with his face, but again, good starting points. There's another Obi-Wan Kenobi cape there with a rip through it. We have got a Walrus Man. There's a couple of Landos there, one a bit yellowed, one in not too bad condition. He could just do with a bit of a clean up. Then we've got a very yellowed Boba Fett, and poor chap is missing both his hands. So yeah, he has certainly seen some action. Maybe went into the Sarlacc pit and yeah, didn't survive. Then we have a Tusken Raider there who is not too bad condition at all. Bit of a clean up and he will look very nice. Has he got little hollow tubes there? Is that a variant? If someone knows about that, do let me know. I don't know much about the sort of variants on these, but he does appear to have some hollow tubes on his face. We also have a Luke X-Wing pilot. Again, He's had a little bit of a face rub there, but nice figure. And then we move on to some Jedi era figures. Ooh, and some Last 17 there. I'll leave those for a moment. So we have a Gamorrean guard who's lost a bit of his little horns there on the top. But yeah, not a bad figure. We've got Nien Nunb, who is incredibly faded. I've never seen one faded like that. Very interesting to see them when they're sort of in that sort of condition. We have a Han Solo trench coat. Again, just a little bit play worn. We've got a Klaatu. We've got a Lobot there. We have got a Prune Face. We've got a Princess Leia in her indoor gear. We have an FX7 missing his little claw. And then finally, we have Droopy McCall. A nice figure there. I like this one just because he's so sort of big and chunky. But as I showed, there were a couple of Last 17 figures. Let's take a look at those. These certainly seem past best. We have got General Lando Calrissian, a little bit of yellowing going on there, and then a fair amount of paint wear. I reckon the paint on this guy can be touched up and he can be made to look pretty reasonable. And then we have the Last 17 Luke Skywalker in Stormtrooper disguise. This guy has got chew marks on him. I can see he's got sort of bite marks on the back there, bite marks on the back of his head. He is very yellowed. He has certainly seen some action in the trash compactor, but still a pretty nice figure. Those are really cool. So Steve, this is absolutely amazing. I really wasn't expecting this sort of volume of busted figures, but they are absolutely fantastic. Let me pull all of these in so you can see what they are. Yeah, a whole load of vintage goodness there. Vintage beta Star Wars figures. But you know what? I think I'm going to go and give some of these a clean, because I reckon a bit of cleaning on these and they will start to look pretty reasonable. We'll use this chap here as the benchmark because you can really see how filthy he is. So I'm going to go and fill the sink with some very hot water, soap and a toothbrush, and I will clean these up and a magic eraser to try and get some more of this dirt and grime off. And we'll see how these look after sort of half an hour to an hour's washing. And there you go, a quick clean later, and this is how they are all looking. The Biker Scouts, actually, it was starting to look pretty good. All of that dirt and grime did wash off. They're still beta figures, but they're certainly a lot better than they were when they arrived here, which is the fun part of having toys like this. I don't like getting mint toys. Mint toys, there's nothing to do with them. You just put them on the shelf, that's it. But a pile of toys like this that all need a lot of work, that is hours and hours of fun for me. So I do need to say a massive thank you to Steve from the Toy Exchange. That's really generous of you. These are going to keep me occupied for many, many hours. Please do go and check out the Toy Exchange. I'll put a link to his website in the description. And if you've enjoyed this video, then make sure to hit the subscribe button and tap the bell to be notified each time I upload a new video. And if you've really enjoyed it, then why not head on over to my main channel, Toy Polloi, and subscribe there as well. And thanks for watching.